You keep staring. We've been live.
I know it says live, but it
Oh,
doesn't have the time up there.
oh
This is what
that's
happened
all right.
last week. Well, I guess we are live. They don't have the time now. Welcome to another exciting adventure episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
There we go. Now we're finally live. See, told you we were
See,
live.
yeah, just had to wait 10 seconds.
Once again, welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers, and I'm still Paper Guy.
And I'm still Mr. Magazine.
So, welcome to the Hump Day Happy Hour. Salute, everybody. And that kind of kicked us both on our butts there. We started early, as we always do, and we went back to the well for Elijah Craig, small batch bourbon, and I don't remember it being quite that strong last time I had it.
Pretty powerful, yeah.
Yes, it was. We want to give out a shout out to the good friend of the channel, Primetime Treasure Hunter, with his live show after ours. Check him out. And today it's another cha-ching-a-thon. Looks like we got a few people
Lori's
here.
in the house. She was first out the box. Ron's always a loyal fan. And Dawn's here, nice and early again.
Nice. Hey, she gets a gold star. So last week's show, always fun, always interactive, always a good show. Good topic, and thanks to everybody who commented and helped make it such a good show. Really did appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And do check out our Instagram as well. $1 Million Peddlers, as a matter of fact.
What do we got going on?
Oh, you like that?
Is that Looney Tunes
Got
Squad?
a Looney Tunes one, yeah.
Space Jam? Oh, no, not Space Jam.
Probably sell this online.
Yeah,
Probably
12
sell it
bucks.
on eBay. There, it probably is. Yeah, we always give some fun things over on Instagram when we're not shamelessly plugging things. So it's a lot of fun. And I want to thank everybody out there that uses our affiliate links. You can find them in every video that we have. We have a little write-up about the video that we try to be a little entertaining in. Try, I think, is the key word there.
Yeah.
And beneath that, we've got a bunch of links to various items that we like on eBay and Amazon. Also, both of our stores, as a matter of fact, are linked down below. You just click on the link, and anything you purchase, it does not have to be what we're promoting. Anything you purchase off of that link, we may get a percentage back. It definitely helps the channel. Long story short, it keeps a cookie on your computer. Anything you purchase off of that, we can get some money back. And we definitely do appreciate everybody that helps us out that way. It really does help the channel.
Remind me, I still got to buy the new green screen and light boxes. I'm going to buy a couple for my employees.
Well, why don't we talk about that real quick? If you haven't checked out Primetime's video with Mr. Buys a Lot, it's a two-part video. He put part one up yesterday. It's actually a lot of fun to sit there and watch.
Yeah.
And it actually was kind of funny. I know I sent that to you and you watched it as well. And when I was watching the video, I just got like flashbacks to your warehouse with the background and all the boxes up on the racking and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. And if you haven't checked out our warehouse or his warehouse, definitely check out I believe it's called the highly anticipated or much anticipated warehouse tour.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. And actually, I did put a link to it in a comment on a video from yesterday because somebody or other said, hey, I couldn't find it. So I actually found it for him and put the link there. So it's a fun video. Definitely is a fun video. Looks like a lot more people have showed up.
Eric's in the house like always. And Eric's in the house like always.
Nice. Oh, there we go. A lot of people just yapping back and forth. Well, that's good. You just talk amongst yourselves.
Don's saying welcome to Michael, whoever Michael is.
Well, thank you very much, Don, for that. Do appreciate that. So, we're going to start the show a little differently today.
All right.
You didn't sneak a peek at my notes, did you?
I did not, no.
Okay, very good. That's what always makes the show fun. You don't know what the heck I'm going to be talking about.
Like always, yeah.
Do you know who PWCC is?
That's that big, famous sports card company.
Yes, it is. And they sell on eBay.
Yep.
And do you know how much product they moved last year?
I'm going to guess 100 million.
Very, very good. You didn't read any of the articles because
No.
you don't know where I'm going with this.
I just know they're big time, but yeah.
$150 million on eBay last year.
Wow.
Did you know that they had an agreement with eBay to pay lower percentage?
Wow, I did not know that.
They pay between 1% to 3%.
Wow.
So if
Holy
we'll
cow.
just use 2% as the number.
Yeah.
That's $3 million they gave eBay last year off $150 million worth of sales.
Well, that's good profit for them. Absolutely.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
No? I should be asking, but I'm small potatoes.
Well, exactly. Yeah, so we should be paying 2%. And actually, shout out to Dawn. She sent me the link to an article about this, but I had been following it all day yesterday as well.
Right.
They've been booted from eBay.
Recently or a long time ago?
Yesterday.
Wow. Holy cow.
18,000 listings gone.
Right.
$3 million a year we figure that they pay eBay,
Right.
and they're gone.
And eBay doesn't care.
eBay kicked them off because of shill bidding.
Wow. Now, why would they do this?
Well, there's a lot of theories out there, and it's a lot of fun to read the boards. I've been reading various boards, and some of the theories are PWCC has started their own auctions.
Okay.
And
there's tons of companies, like big companies with tons of graded cards and so forth. They're on. We get flyers all the time in emails. Yeah.
And apparently, and I forget what the name they're putting to them, but they're putting some of their higher level stuff on that auction.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the rumors is that eBay may have seen the writing on the wall that they were going to start taking a lot of stuff away.
Okay.
And just decided to kick them off early. There have been a lot of complaints on various boards and all that throughout the years that there's been shill bidding going on. Because basically, apparently, and again, this is just what I've read on the boards.
If you're that big time, what's the purpose of doing it? And you're making all that money.
Well, apparently what happens per the boards, and I don't know anything at all about this, just per the boards, is I can sign a card to them, and then I bid it up. So I want to see it go higher, obviously, so I bid the card up. However, the email that eBay sent out, now I did not receive the email that eBay sent out, but I've read copies of it, basically was saying that people associated with the account, so employees of, were shill bidding, and that eBay does not stand for it.
They must have had some type of proof, obviously, with IP addresses or whatever. Yeah.
Well, PWCC sent something that I did receive in my email that said we were blindsided by this. We cannot believe what eBay is saying. We are searching, or we are talking to our legal counsel about what we're going to do next.
Wow.
Type deal. So it's a big mess over there. And what I was going to say, and the reason why I led the show off with this is...
Can I say something first?
Go ahead. Yeah, of course.
And I've learned this years ago with eBay. Nobody is too big to boot.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That is very true. I guess the reason why I led the show off with this is... Why do you think I led the show off with this? With the kind of show that we have.
You got me. Nobody's too big to boot. I'm going to go with that.
Because...
We shill bidded 22.5 years ago when we were on eBay for a week. And we never did it again.
Because that's 18,000 fewer items on eBay in the card category.
Okay.
That's $150 million less of sales in the card category.
Yeah.
However, if you're a hardcore card collector, you're still going to eBay to buy cards.
Generally speaking, yeah.
It takes a huge competitor out of there. Yeah. And a competitor that I can't help but think, and again, this is just my opinion, but I can't help but think they got a leg up over a card that I list.
Sure.
In the search.
Oh,
I just can't help but feel they
every angle they're going to have it.
Yeah. So what this means, I believe, is if you have cards, now might be the time to get them on, because there is, I'm going to use a big word here, a paucity of cards on eBay right now.
What percentage of this category did they own, pretty much?
Well, that I don't know. That one, none of the reports
did say that. It's got to be a 5 or 10% or something of that nature. It's got to be something.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. Yeah.
To those numbers, yeah. Because if they were doing $1 billion in the card category, they're 10% of it, 15% of it.
15% are right there alone. Yeah. Yep. So I guess to anybody that hasn't read the story, search it on out there. It's all over Google. It's all over the sport. The Blowout Cards has a big thing on it. Nut 54 has a big thing on it. You can definitely read all about it. And I was kind of watching it in real time because, and I'm making this part up because I don't remember the exact, but some people got the email who purchased from PWCC and some people did not. And it came from eBay at eBay5.ebay or something or other like that. And so some people were thinking it was a scam email because there was a link in it to click on.
Right.
And then some people were calling eBay, and apparently the CSRs were unaware of it. Because then one of the CSRs, from what somebody posted in the boards, one of the CSRs said, "We would never out a user like that. That doesn't sound real to me." Yeah. Kind of deal. But then when I received the email from PWCC, the other thing that happened is people that were bidding on items,
Mhm.
the items disappeared. So those bids don't count. And people that had purchased items, apparently, that had not paid for them yet, those items disappeared as well.
I gotta say something. So
Go ahead.
years ago with eBay, it was a little. They were, I would say, tougher, at least on me, as far as I get kicked off for 1 day or thing. We're going back 20 years now, but like you get the 1 day violation, you're off, or 3 days, or you can't list for a week, whatever it was. Now you seem to be. I get warnings of anything, or we're proactively contacting. So we do get warnings, and like if you do, this is not a proper listing, delete it, don't do it again. This is your warning. They must have gotten some warning about shill bids. There's no way like you have 100 shill bids in a week, you're done. There must have been something like violation. Don't do this. I mean, it has to be.
Yeah, we don't know because again, they went and they made the comment that they claimed they were blindsided by it.
Wow,
But
that's shocking. That someone of that magnitude, they must have some concierge or someone that they can talk to that would say, "Hey, cut the crap." A higher ups want to get rid of you. You better turn it around. Something happened somewhere. I don't know, but that's shocking.
yeah, it's kind of a crazy story out there. But I guess we got two morals of the story. The one moral of the story, as you said, well, keep your nose clean because you're not important to eBay. You're just not.
I mean, if you need eBay, like I need eBay, maybe they don't need eBay. They're big enough where, I'm sure they'll bounce back and they'll make that up in their next few auctions or something. But
Well, the other thing that got all the to get really deep down the rabbit hole real quick, the other thing that got all the conspiracy theorists talking was that the owner of PWCC did not appear at the National. Exactly,
Wow,
and that's
yeah.
what everybody said. They're like, "Why wasn't he at the
Yeah,
National?
that is
What's going
interesting.
on?"
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you're moving $150 million worth of product in the card
Yeah.
industry, you're a big player. You're a big player.
Well,
Period. End of
if you're
story.
making 10% profit, you're making 15 mil. That's crazy.
You're a big player.
Yeah.
Well, and they're also making 10% profit that we aren't because they're
Yeah.
paying a lot different fees than we are.
Exactly. Yep.
So
Yeah.
just on that alone.
Sure.
So the fact that he didn't appear at the National was kind of got people questioning as well.
Yeah.
And then when this ended up happening. So kind of an interesting story. Definitely do check it out there. But if you do have cards, I think I would get them listed.
Yeah. All right.
It
We're
would
on
be a
it.
good time.
Don's got something to say.
I finally looked at Mr. Buys a Lot's eBay and saw that he's selling his entire inventory. Well, one of the reasons why is I know he's moving down south and he's obviously doesn't want to move all that stuff.
Sure.
And if you've got, and you know this as well as anybody does, I don't need inventory if I've got a pocket full of cash because
Yeah.
I can always find more
True.
inventory.
True.
And as they always say, the buying is the easy part.
Yeah.
And he's got connections, much as you do, much as all of us do.
Sure.
I mean, bottom line, if somebody rather were to come to my house tomorrow and buy me out of all of my stock,
Yeah.
I'd be up and running again by the end of the week. I mean,
Sure.
that's really what
Yeah,
it comes
absolutely.
down to. I have enough contacts and all that kind of stuff, and I'm certain he's exactly the same way.
Right. Yeah.
So interesting. Oh, Amazon Seller
Yeah.
99 in the house.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Well, let me ask you this real
Sure.
quick, and then we'll get back to our regularly scheduled program.
Mm-hmm.
You list sports cards currently.
Yes.
Are you going to end up moving stuff over to eBay?
Yeah, we
Giving
certainly
that
can.
opening?
Yeah, why not? I mean, we've been selling some stuff, but now we'll hit it a little higher now. Stuff that's been sitting around, maybe put it out there now.
Yeah, definitely,
Sure, yeah.
definitely. Because I mean, anybody that buys on eBay cards ends up shopping from them just because they had such a big
Yeah.
selection, and they had things out there with like the vault where you could pay them to
Oh, yeah.
store the
I saw,
items
yeah,
and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Crazy.
So,
Yeah.
well, you were bringing that up. You were talking
Mhm.
about that. How much insurance they must have.
Oh my God, it's gonna be ridiculous.
I mean, granted, they say it's a vault, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen it and all that
Right.
kind of thing. But stuff walks off, or God forbid, there's some kind of a
A flood,
catastrophe,
water, fire, anything.
volcano,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
talking a lot of potential money that they have there.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of potential money. Yep. Bye for cheating. Yep. There you go. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh yeah, you know that, and it's the Bugs Bunny tie. It's like the mega electronics seller on eBay, 100 million per year. Wow, companies who were banned for cheating on product reviews. Wow.
Crazy.
I mean, that's good. It's good to hear. It's good
Yeah.
because we always have felt that, and as well as I, well, we've actually kind of felt that the big sellers have it tougher than the small sellers because the
I
small
think so.
sellers can
They
go
fly
under the radar.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah.
Whereas we have a lot more opportunity to get
Yeah.
caught on something.
Sure.
And you just never know. on stuff like that. And I'm trying to think. I just listed something today that I had a question about whether I was allowed to list or not. Now I can't remember what the heck it was. It was something or other on eBay, and it's like, well, I'm going to list it, and hopefully, because it was, gosh, it'll come to me a little later in the show as to what it is. But then you worry about these kind of things because you never know.
I always worry. You never know.
You never know whatsoever. Yeah.
Especially if they can just ban someone like that.
Oh yeah, yep. And Lori's talking about and I cannot remember what the name of the FBI operation is, but the FBI is looking into card trimming and they're looking into all kinds of things like that. Oh, that was what the other theory on the boards was that the investigations going forward with the FBI and that eBay saw the writing on the wall and said, oh, they're doing shill bidding. The FBI is involved. We're going to be proactive and kick them off. That was another theory out there.
Yeah, they don't want to be involved. So, absolutely.
Get at arm's length with them before the FBI starts asking questions. So nobody knows what's going on. And I, with the whole pandemic and everything, the investigation, people fear it may have been stalled and all that kind of thing as well. But maybe not. Who even knows? And again, everybody's just talking. Nobody knows. That's really what it comes down to. Yep, exactly. And that's one of the big things we always stress on our show is trying to turn everything to your advantage. If you see something like that, how can you or us use it? At this point, there's an opening in the market.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. Yeah. So people still want to buy cards. So flood eBay with cards if you have them to sell. That's what it comes down to.
What's going on with MDP?
I
know what's going on with BDP.
Someone near me is selling a bunch of totes full of cards, but it's not a category. It's $800. I don't have right now. Yeah, you got to be very, very careful in buying cards. Odds are they probably have been searched.
99 out of 100, you get what you're going to pay for in that stuff, or overpay for that matter.
Yep. And back in the day, or even now, you could always say, "Oh, these booking a nickel a piece, and there's 20,000 cards in here. That's worth this amount of money." Well, yeah, it is, but good luck ever peddling.
You can have a million commons worth 5 cents, and you think $100 a deal, and you still can't move them. So.
Wow, 2 million listings, 8 million listings. Yeah, that's a
lot.
Well, that's the other question is what, the other thing the boards were talking about is how eye-opening it was about the fact that they were only paying 1 to 3%.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. That's amazing. I mean, do you think he gave an ultimatum? Hey, we're in for this amount, or we're doing this much money for you. We can leave, or give us a crazy good rate.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it really is. But I guess we kind of all knew in the back of our heads that they weren't paying the same percentage as we were. We knew that, but now we actually have numbers down for it.
Serious
announcement. All righty, back into our regularly scheduled program, already in progress.
Retro headset, our sound's a bit low tonight.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what's...
You could just speak up with your big mouth.
That could be too. Yeah. Random neighborhood kids at work right now, so I told them to check everything beforehand, so I don't know what's going on. And I'm not going to muck around in the settings because we'll probably go to the test screen. Yeah. Remember those? Are you old enough to remember those?
Yeah.
Those things actually got I actually read somewhere they actually got a 0.1 rating overnight. Basically, they were drunks falling asleep in front of the TV is what it came down to. But people kept it on all night. So how are your sales been?
Sales are decent. I had a couple good things going for good money. Some movies, some Garbage Pail Kids. So it helps out, but pretty steady. Amazon's been really strong. eBay's, I'm hanging in there considering.
Thank you, Mike. Radio Parts. And actually, growing up, my mother did have a Gran Torino.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. It was blue, though. Any buys?
Let's see. This week, 3 decent buys. One I just picked up today. I told you, 200 autographed Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you told me, but you didn't tell them.
Guy comes in, a couple binders. His father went to all the shows back in the day and had over 200 autographed baseball cards and photos and postcards and stuff, and mainly Hall of Famers and deceased players. So pretty good deal there.
Now, let me ask on those certs or no certificates of authenticity?
No, but there's a bunch of checks, so obviously those are legit. But I could tell they're legit. Plus the era, he did have some certification from back in the day. So,
well, and actually, this will help people out there too. if you're in the industry, and you've been in the card industry for a long time, and back in the 90s, I was going to card shows around here as well,
Mhm.
you know who came in.
Yeah, true.
And so if you see the autographs from people that you know came in,
Right.
and he's got a lot of the autographs from people that came in, you can tell he went to the same show,
Yeah.
month after month or quarter after
Right.
quarter, put up by the same promoter.
Yeah.
Then you 99% sure they're real, and then of course you
Right.
match them up to make sure that they are real and all that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a little insider tip there if you know your area and you're in the hobby. Certain people never came here, and so those I'd be a little more suspect about if he just had things like that.
Right. Yeah.
But on the other, oh yeah, that guy came in, that guy came in, that guy came in. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this all makes sense. This story all makes
And
sense.
we were
what
lucky
things
because
are.
the local promoter, he brought in just about anyone that was alive that was in the Hall of Fame that made the Hall of Fame. So a couple other good buys too. I had 2 calls this week. Both claimed to have sports cards and toys. And when I got there, they did. They were decent. Cards were okay, toys were good. But the best things out of both collections that I bought were records.
Really?
Surprising. They didn't even mention the records. I got there, they're like, "Do you buy records?" I'm like, "Sure." And both ladies, their husbands both passed away, and they had very good records from the 60s and 70s, rock, and great shape too. Yeah, so it pays to go to these things.
Well, here's something other that I've been noticing. I've been going to a couple of different estate sales, and they've had some pretty good records. Now, I don't deal in records, but I know enough to pick up. Obviously, if I see a Led Zeppelin for $1 or something like that, I'm going to pick it up. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. We'll try to adjust it over here again. But a couple of different estate sales are selling them at $5 a record.
Wow.
Yeah, that seems a little bit high.
I mean, there might be 10 good ones out of the 100 that they're selling, or whatever, that are worth it. But for the most part,
Yeah, I don't know enough about records to spend $5 a record. Obviously, if they're $1 a record, 50 cents a record, I'm going to buy things like that.
You'll buy a lot more at that price than you would at 5.
Yeah, 5, I'm not going to take any chances at all on that kind of stuff. Anything else going on?
Gil is on his way. I just talked to him. He's halfway to Houston tonight for the magazine collection. So
now, does he get a hotel, or how do you do that?
I think he drives straight through. Him and his buddies. They might pull over for an hour or two, with little truck stops. But for the most part, he's like a cannonball runner.
There you go. And you can eat a lot of jerky, like I was talking about at the truck stop last week.
True. Yeah.
My sales are. Thanks for asking. My sales are. They're okay. They're nothing special. I know a few different people have been telling me their sales are down a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, some schools are getting back in. Some of the colleges are getting back in, starting already.
Wow.
In Ohio, they're starting next week in school
Mm-hmm.
for high school and grade school. So people are starting to, they're getting their last minute trips out of the way. They're getting their school supplies. They're doing all that. Up here, we don't start for another 2 weeks. But sales are going to be lower until after the holiday in general. If your sales are low right now, they're going to stay low for a couple more weeks probably.
Yeah.
Just because everybody's doing the last minute summer things, or doing this, or doing that.
Right.
So that should be. Oh yeah, you like that?
He wants to know if we're mumbling. He's a comedian.
Nice. Oh, you wanted to, or you didn't want to talk about, but since you're down a couple of employees.
Yep.
You apparently have learned some stuff about Markdown Manager.
Yes, I heard I should not rush into doing Markdown Manager. So I think it ended, the sale that my previous employee did ended like 5 days ago. So I think I talked to you Monday about it. I was going to do it. I think I did do it Monday. The problem is, and no offense, it might be easier for you having less items and less store category. Well, how many store categories do you have?
150.
Okay. Well, I got 300, but I also have 150,000 items spread out through a lot of those. So I just started going right down the row, and they don't alphabetize them when you can put them into, when you go into
it's probably, and I haven't
Seller
looked,
Hub, it's alphabetized.
Oh, okay.
But there it's not. So it's just random. So I was just going through them, and it's always the same random ones. I don't know why. So I was going through them. Okay, this is close to 10,000. Put this 10,000 into the sale. Next 10,000. Well, there's some categories with codes that we don't put on sale because it's higher, high-end items, $200 or more, or whatever. And I mistakenly put them into the sale. Then we take offers and stuff. So like people were giving me crazy low offers. Sadly, they could have gotten a deal at 20% off. They wanted like 50% off. So I didn't sell much out of it, thank God. But we end up calling eBay, canceled them, and redoing them. So, but I can sleep nice tonight now.
My sales are terrible last 3 days. Up till then, very good. Yeah. Yep. And like I said, there's a lot going on right now.
Oh gosh. I want to have what he's having there. I think.
Wow. Yeah, right. Mike started a little early on the happy hour.
Yeah,
I'm thinking here. Slow up until a few days ago. Oh wow, nice. And then nothing again. No, that sucks.
Consistent,
Yeah,
not consistently high. That's for sure.
So I've done okay, and it kind of ties into our main theme tonight, which we'll be getting to in a little while, about pros and cons of moving outside your comfort zone. And the reason why I brought this up is because the other day I hit a house call.
You hit a house.
Yeah, there you go. Hit a house call, a church sale,
right?
An estate sale,
okay,
and a thrift store. Oh, and a garage sale, all in the same day. And it just is amazing. And I've got a video up, or we've got a video up, talking about tips on different kinds of sales. And it very much is true. And I can tell by going to the different sales. And I'll kind of tell you one thing that I ended up buying.
Okay.
I know you're a fan of The Sopranos.
Sure, back in the day. I mean, I like The Sopranos. I haven't seen it in years, but yes.
Did you know they did merch for The Sopranos?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Did you know they did a cheese cutting board for The Sopranos?
That I did not know. Cheese cutting, okay.
Cheese cutting board.
Right.
Because there was an episode about, what's the wife's name? Her kitchen.
Okay.
So I went to a sale, and they had it for $5 at the garage sale. For, what's the wife's name? Carlita or something?
No,
Rosalita?
Carm's
Kitchen?
Carmela's
Kitchen, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was opened, as far as the box was opened,
right,
and a little scuffed up on the box. But the cutting board was sealed, and it had two of the little cutting board, or the two little butter spreaders or cheese spreaders, or whatever the heck you call them, had those in there. Well, I told my wife, because she was at the sale as well, I told Mrs. Paperguy, I said, keep looking around. And I'm doing comps real quick on my phone. It's a $40 cutting board.
Wow.
So I picked it up for $5.
Nice.
You know, and it's just one of those things. I would never in a million years buy that at a flea market. Mm-hmm. I would never buy it at an estate sale. It was a flea market or a garage sale, and it was just kind of sitting there. And so I did the comps on it. I had no idea it was a $40 item. Oh, there you go from Canada. Well, show that for Dawn. She'll appreciate that. It's the Alouettes, or not the Alouettes, the Argonauts. The Argonauts. Yep. Actually, quick rambling story. We went up to back a couple of years ago, whatever year, the year after they were champions, because we got the Champions Cup when we bought our beverage. Mm-hmm. We went up day before the game. We bought tickets down, and I love end zone tickets to games. Bought the ticket. They were like $15 a ticket or something other like that. And great view and great fun over at the Argonauts, or at the it's the Argonauts. Great fun over there. So definitely, if you haven't ever checked out a Canadian Football League game, definitely worth doing. Definitely get the merch.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Mike, thank you for that. I was told that a lot when I used to play football in high school.
Hey-oh, not safe for children. There you go.
Let's see. Hold on. Lewis is here from Canada as well. Got to acknowledge that.
Oh, nice.
Right. Yeah.
Big Canadian contingent here in the house. So one thing I want to ask you, and I did mention this to you, I've actually got out-of-town guests in for the weekend.
Here? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right.
My parents came into town, and
they were already here? Or they're coming?
They're already here. They're out to eat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. Well, one thing we almost did, we almost had my parents sitting over here.
You can tell we're not very close. We don't talk much.
Well, they wanted to stay and watch the show, and I said,
lovely.
"Well, then we're
sitting right there."
Exactly. We can go now in front of a live studio audience. I said, "You guys go eat. You guys go eat." But my father collects coins, and I went to the flea market, and a guy had coins. And a guy I deal with came up to me and said, "Hey, if you do coins, this guy over here's got really good prices on coins, like really good." I go, "Okay." And then the guy that came up to me went back over to buy more coins. And if you tell me about something and then you go back to buy more, I'm like, okay, this is a good deal. So I ended up buying a coin. It booked out at $115. And I verified afterwards on eBay. It's about 100 plus shipping. So it's about a $110
Nice.
coin. The guy looked at it. He goes, $70. I'm like, okay. I don't understand selling coins cheap. I guess I just don't understand. That's a whole business I don't
If you
understand.
get them cheap, you can sell them. Or if you got them years ago for dirt cheap, you know.
That's true, but geez, I don't know. That's the kind of thing I just don't see. Because then I'm a 64 as well. I mean, it's not like it's a piece of garbage, scrap metal only coin.
Yeah. We got 2 good comments there. RNK single.
I'm
I'm gonna guess yes. He may not agree with that, but I'm gonna go with reality.
That's a pretty safe bet. Have you seen that personality on that kid?
Yeah, exactly. Hold on, Carl, the lazy reseller's in the house.
Hey, good to see you.
And Mike has another comment that you're gonna love. Another coin story. Yep.
There you go. Yeah, that's about all I got. The coins in my in between my couch things.
Michelle's in the house.
Oh, good
Thanks
evening,
for coming.
Michelle. One other quick thing I wanted to bring up was a couple of little things over here. You've had some problems.
Every day of my life. So
you got 99 problems.
Where do we begin?
Actually, if there's 99 problems, you got 100.
Yeah.
That's a whole other
Trials
story.
and tribulations.
Now, what it kind of ties into selling things that you don't usually sell and video games.
Yes. What's my
You've
problem?
you've had a couple of different problems with video games.
I have recently.
You had me end cancel.
Oh, that thing.
You gotta tell everybody about it because this is
so. I deal with these guys that sell me the sports cards, and now you can get them online with the bots, so they're getting them on bots and stuff. So now they're trying to get PlayStation. So he ended up said I can get you 2 PlayStations. Well, an employee of mine wanted one, and my other son wanted one. So I said I'll take 2. So he brings one in. My employee gets that one. Decent price, definitely saving cheaper than on eBay. So then he gets me another one.
Now when he brought it in, did it still have the TV attached to it and everything?
No, it's all new in box. It's the better one with the disc drive or whatever. So I'm thinking like, well, my one son has one. He doesn't use it a lot. We could probably put it in my other kid's room, and then I can sell this for like $750, $800 on eBay. So I decided to sell it on eBay. It sells for $750. I make a little bit of money. Then minutes later, the guy he pays, and then minutes later he wants to cancel. So then he canceled. Well, it must have been in the store when this happened, the eBay store, not auction. So then when I was messing around with the sale, it put it down to $550, and some guy offered me $500. Another guy offered me $450. Like they couldn't just have a deal; they had to like get a bigger deal. Well, some smart guy bought it for the $550, and I'm just stumped like how this even happened. So I ended up canceling it. I know I don't do it very often, but like I just can't lose a couple $100 on this deal. So I waited. Now it's back in auction. Nice. Everything should be smooth. Hopefully.
Well, and then you also had another item, and I don't know what it was, but it was another video game type item that the person bought, and then said they had to cancel. And it makes me wonder, the people that deal in the video game systems and all that,
they don't know me or something, or like I'm not a big hitter in that category, maybe.
Or do they also have the same problem with a lot of cancellations and all that? I very rarely, oddly, if you're going to click through and buy a Musty 1911 magazine, you probably wanted that Musty 1911 magazine.
Yeah.
So that was kind of tying into our main category, our main subject tonight about selling outside your niche.
Yeah.
It would drive me absolutely insane. I mean, number one, you get into the video games like that, you're paying a higher percentage.
Yeah.
And number two, you've got returns, you've got a lot more potential for fraud.
Well, that's why I hate dealing with it. It was brand new. I thought it was going to be a smooth sailing thing. By the way, Mike, Monday, you could watch the replay.
There you go. We started off the show with that, my friend.
Yeah, we used at least 15 minutes on that.
So, but that just kind of tied in. I mean, because again, you had that problem with the video games on 2 different items. One was only a $24 item or something like that, but still.
Yeah. Well, how about the Garbage Pail Kids? I picked up mint condition sets 1 through 6, sold for $2,200. A day goes by, I'm like, let me just check if they pay, because most people pay in a day or two. 2 days go by, them looking like, he's got 3 positives. I reach out to him. It's been 5 days, no response. Now we got to wait. What's the deal with that? Can we cancel that soon?
Yeah, I'll be able to cancel tomorrow. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I don't know why people do that.
So on our sales thing, Viv's Dash Views did sell one, and that's all that sold. Nothing on Etsy.
We
nothing
got to
on
do over under one every week.
There you go. 1 a week. I'm happy with that. I've had a few returns on Amazon, and I can't figure out when Amazon automatically refunds and when they don't, because I just got a return that they automatically refunded, but then I had a return that they didn't, and then it said you have returns to look at. So I looked at it and I'm like, wait, I just got this back.
Yeah.
And it's one of those deals where not as described type deal, or not as shown on the website. One of those kind of deals. And it's one of those that I was selling a single comic book, and apparently at some point along the line, Amazon turned it into a trade paperback when they merged together listings.
Hate that. Nothing you could do about it.
No, I mean, because I know what I listed, I know what I have, and when I read my listing, it's this comic book, and that's what I listed it under. I listed it under a comic book as well. So my only problem is, you're dealing with a couple of returns on Amazon where I almost never get any whatsoever, and they can be so persnickety that all of a sudden I may have a couple of marks.
I don't hear that word very often.
You do not very often, but I may have a couple of marks on my account now because of the returns, and it's like,
well, they shouldn't allow those marks because it's their system half the time.
Well, if they looked into it, they would see, which obviously they're not going to do, but they would look into it.
Explain that to them.
Yeah, right. Oh, look, he listed this on January 1st, 2018 as a single comic, and it was right. We merged it in 2020. Well, they're going to say, well, I should know my inventory is what they're going to say.
Right, exactly, yeah.
But it's not like I can look at, 20,000 items every single day to see if there were any changes to any of them. I didn't change them.
Right. Sure.
That's what it comes down to. Oh, there you go. They're out there. I know that they're out there on that stuff. So one of the bigger things, and I had mentioned earlier that my parents were in town and everything like that. I am going tomorrow to a big antique show. And what's the weather been like the last couple of days?
Here, crappy, rainy.
Yep.
Cool at night.
Yep. And that's absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an insider tip. It's been raining the last 2 days. There are over 1,000 dealers at this. What that means is it's the hardcore buyers are going to have been out there already, and they're going to be searching. But with that many dealers, they can't go through everything. There's no way they can go through everything. So I have no worries at all about coming across something good. I'm sure that I will. However, the casual shopper, and I know that's happening this week. It's raining. I'll go tomorrow. It's raining. I'll go tomorrow. So I'm certain that it kept the casual shopper away. And a little insider tip, and something rather like this is a show that lasts anywhere from 8 days. A lot of the dealers are there.
Right.
One thing that you definitely want to do, and I definitely do it with dealers, if they've got stuff you're somewhat interested in, start making small talk with them and ask them how the show is going. And you don't necessarily, and I don't want this to come across wrong, but if you smell blood, if they basically have been like, oh my God, I haven't sold, my best day was $100, and I don't know what it cost them to set up, but it cost me $500 to set up, and I haven't even made my booth yet, and I've been here 5 days.
Yeah.
They're ripe to sell at that point.
Yeah,
they want to sell because they want to justify their trip, because a lot of these people are sleeping in their cars or their vans, or just it's a tough life. It definitely is. So at that point, definitely they're willing to deal. And that's always good to know if somebody on the other side's willing to deal. Whereas if the guy's sitting there, counting $100 bills in front of you and like, whatever, he doesn't want to deal because he's already made his nut, as they say.
Exactly.
So that's a little bit of an insider tip. I'll be doing multiple videos, I'm certain, on it. About the hunt, about what I find and all that kind of thing. Got a hotel room overnight and everything like that. And actually, Friday morning, I am meeting up with Primetime.
Nice.
In a secret location, so secret I don't even know where it is. So that's pretty darn secret. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a cross promotion between our channels, Primetime and us. So that should be a lot of fun as well. So definitely do watch for those videos. I'll be shooting them over the next couple of days, and we'll have Random Neighborhood Kid kind of do all the funky stuff that he does, and we'll get them posted.
Nice.
So that should be a lot of fun, and hopefully I find some treasures.
So it's really going to be Primetime? You're going to have proof? You're going to have a cardboard stand-up at Primetime?
Yes, I will be standing next to a Primetime stand-up.
Make sure it's 6'6", though.
That is
it
what
won't be believable.
That is what I learned today, from his.
We're awfully blurry. No, we're not.
Here we are. Yep, I think I kicked the table there over there. See if there's anything else going on, and we'll get into this over here. Looks up a booth and make little or no sales. Oh yeah, that definitely is the absolute
That's why
worst.
I hate any type of shows. From when I was a young kid, bad experience with them.
I mean, I know that I could do well at this show. Again, you rent a spot in a field, you rent a tent above you in case of the rain. I mean, some people try it without the tent, but I sell paper items, so I definitely would need a tent. But I would end up using all my profits up in a hotel. I just would.
Sure.
I'm too old to be roughing it sleep. I mean, I can't imagine.
It's not worth it.
I've got a Rogue. I mean, I guess I could put the back seat down and sleep in there and all that kind of thing. I just don't. I just couldn't do it. I'm just too old for that.
Yeah.
My bones wouldn't handle that too well.
You might have an answer for Resale Studio.
I have a return from Canada, possible scammer, I assume. Buyer claimed defective. I can't send them an international return label. What's your experience with international return shipping labels? I do not have the box check to allow international returns. I don't. So I've never actually had one on that over there. I believe they're, at least in my case, I believe they're supposed to pay the shipping back. And same thing with yours. Now, obviously, you know, if it's my mistake, I would give them their money back. But especially if you're talking potential scammer and all that, I would hold fast to have them ship it back to you. And you know,
Scanner.
I think you meant scammer.
No, scammer.
Potential scammer.
Oh, oh yeah. I thought it was a defective scanner.
So that would be what I would do, and I definitely might want to get eBay involved in it. They've been real well. This is actually kind of funny too. We did talk about the PWCC to head off the show. I've had good luck having eBay call me back.
Good.
And about 1 minute they call you back.
Yeah.
People were saying it was taking 45 minutes to an hour for eBay to return calls yesterday because so many people were wondering what was going on with that email that they had received and everything. So it's kind of interesting over there.
That's 30. Oh, it's $30 to get tracking. Wow.
I guess it depends upon what the value of the item is too.
Yeah, if it's a $30 item, forget it. If it's $500, well, it's a different ballgame.
Oh, one other quick thing. I did do a deal this week, and you actually turned me on. You turned me on to 2 possible deals through your email. People had contacted you through your website, mr-magazine.com.
Local people?
No.
Okay.
The one gentleman had a bunch of Canadian magazines, as a matter of fact, and I made him an offer, and he said he was going to see his parents, and I said, "Oh, they think it's good," and I said, "Well, you're coming from the States. Is there any way you could bring it back to the States and ship it to me?
Yeah.
Because Canadian shipping is so expensive." "Oh yeah, no problem. And then he emails back, "I'm so sorry to waste your time. My parents want to keep the magazines," which I'm absolutely fine with because I'll be quite honest. I made him the offer, and then when he said that they accepted it, I'd forgotten even what I had offered or what it was. So, so I'm like, "Oh, that's fine.
You're buying too much."
But then you gave me a lead, or I stole a lead from you for something or other that you didn't care about. The guy had a lot of ballet programs and all that kind of thing. Yeah. And I basically bought it sight unseen. He had told me how many items he had. I said, "Here's what I'm willing to give you, plus this amount for shipping. Here's my offer." He said, "Okay, it sounds good. To whom do I ship it?" I gave him my address. He said, "Okay, it's on its way." And I said, "Okay, I haven't paid you yet."
Yeah, some people are like that.
I said, "What's your, I want to send you PayPal." "Well, I don't have PayPal." I said, "Okay."
A check?
I said, "I can send you a check." "Okay." So he gave me his address. I sent the check. I sent the check out Monday. The items came in Monday.
Wow.
So he does not he's not been paid yet. I mean, the check's on the way, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's the old handshake kind of deal. That is an honest person.
The Houston deal's the same way. I sent him a check for $17,000. Gil won't be there till tomorrow, so he's already got the check in hand. So I mean, I trust the guy. We've done business before, but still, he could say bye. Some guys may do that.
Yeah, and this was the other way where I could tell the guy, "I never agreed on it. I don't know why you sent me anything." Well, obviously I wouldn't, but that just made me feel good though that the guy was just willing to send all the stuff out.
A lot of them are like that, yeah.
So that was really good. I mean, it's some interesting stuff I got, and I opened it up and I started looking through it, and I just have to find the time to list it all.
Cool.
Some neat stuff.
Yeah. Eric thinks you have an honest face.
Oh, thank you.
Well, maybe it's blurrier on Eric's end.
Wow. Hey, wipe the sleep out of your eyes, Eric. One last thing over here, still moving stuff over from Cellbrite to the website.
Please, why do you got to bring that up for? It's so exhausting. Well, here's an issue I'm finding, and I don't know what's going on yet, but we're testing it out. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but we're pushing Amazon over. My ex-employee did it. My web girl tried it for a day. My new employee's doing it. I'm kind of helping him do it. I'm noticing when I go in, so we're pushing Amazon over to Shopify adult magazines. There's a number in the corner when you click on the whole adult magazine category. It's like 60,080. Well, it's been 60,080 for like weeks. But the things that the new employee just pushed over appear to be there. So I don't know. We're testing it now. He just pushed another 500 to 1,000 over. I want to see the number for sure if it changes or not. Then I have to call my web girl and see what's going on. Or we're going to have to like write down what we're pushing and see if it shows up because Amazon doesn't bring the date codes over. So I'm noticing there's certain titles we brought over and they say new on there. So they're the newest ones pushed over and they don't have date codes. I'm assuming it went through, but the total number is not changing.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's just. We are definitely going to do a video at some point once we get my website set up and all your kind of things there. It's exhausting, and you're right. It absolutely
it's a lot to consume too. It's a mind melt for me.
Well, and part of it too is the website's not live yet I'm dumping a fair amount of money into various things.
Right.
And every month you're paying this because you're paying for this add-on and this add-on on Shopify, and you're sinking a lot of money into something that's not going to end up making money for a couple of years or whatever at some point.
You got to do it though, really.
Yep, definitely. So our subtopic today is, and I think you absolutely do this, and this is a little advice to everybody out there. And I know we've said this before, but I think now more than ever, buy while you can. And the reason why I'm saying that is, I just picked up 700 and some ballet programs.
Yeah.
I don't need to buy. I bought all these various things. I mean, you've seen my front porch, you've seen my garage, all that kind of stuff. I've got more stuff than I'll ever be able to sell. Yeah. Yet I'm going to buy more stuff. I'm just doing it. But the season, the flea market season, at least up north, is starting to come to an end. I mean, we've got about another 2 months of that left. Estate sales do go year round, but they slow down around Christmas time. Yeah. Garage sales, if you're up north, you got about another 2 months of those, month and a half of those left before, you will get a few people setting up in the middle of October on a windy day, but you're not going to find any garage sales around here in December. You're just not going to find it. Right. And so on. And now is the time to source. A lot of people are talking about how slow sales are. Yeah. Source. Use your time to source. If you're not in the mood to list. Yeah,
buy smart.
Buy smart. Source smart. Source smart, but do it now because you're not going to be sourcing on Black Friday. Right. On Cyber Monday, you're not going to be going out to flea markets. You're just not going to do it. Hopefully, you're so busy at that time. So that would be my advice to everybody. And you and I source all the time. Yeah. Kind of deal. But definitely use the time now to source, especially if your sales are low. Because again, there's nothing, and I'm going to, Radio Parts was emailing me earlier today, and he said it's so tough because he was mentioning how his sales have been low for a few days. Right. It's so tough to list when your sales are low because you feel like you're banging your head against the wall and like I'm putting all this work in and nothing is happening out of it. Right. Walk away from the computer before you want to, just bang your head against the wall. Walk away and do hit the flea market, do hit the garage sale. Right. Go to estatesales.net, go to Garage Sale Finder, go to any of these spots over here. And buy something or other. Even if you just go to the local antique mall for an hour to walk through, you'll probably find something. And if you're paying attention, even if you don't buy something, you'll at least learn something. Because a lot of the people on those little things over there, the little stickers, they'll write what something or other is. And you'll say, oh, they want $35. Oh, I didn't know that. And you learn something or other new just walking through. So, obviously if you can go and buy some $100 items for $5, hey, more power to you. That's hopefully what I'm doing tomorrow. Yeah. But, I haven't had any time off since the end of December of 19. Right. So it'll be good for me to get out, walk around, talk to the dealers because I've seen them year after year and all that kind of thing. And my sales aren't great right now. They're not terrible right now.
Yeah.
But it's a good time for me to go out and source, because guess what? I will not be sourcing in October or November. I just won't be.
Yeah.
Well, I might be if you
Well,
send me
yeah.
more.
I mean, for me, I'm trying to buy smarter because I really don't have the room. But if it's a great deal, some gentleman called me. I think he was from Syracuse. He was driving by and he had 1,000 airplane magazines. And I really don't need them. I said I really don't want them. I have no room for them. I would give you $100 for them. And I can understand if you don't want them. And he still said okay. So I really don't want them, but for 10 cents a magazine, and the way I look at it, I'm going to store them. I may never ever sell them, but at some point down the road, 5, 10, 20, I may want to sell the business. And isn't it more desirable if you have a business with
a lot of inventory?
Well, 500,000 items listed, but you also have 500,000 more to list instead of just saying, okay, here's my 500,000 items. Do what you want with them, and that's it. So a growing inventory would be a good selling point, I would say, for me.
Oh, I would love to move to Southern California. There was a
No, our boy Bruce is out there.
I know I went to San Diego any number of times for Comic-Con, and I don't know who, there's a big stadium over there, like an arena. And we used to stay in a hotel right by the arena, and there was a big flea market right across the street from the Home Depot. And it was always a lot of fun to go. And they ran some weird days too. They ran it Saturday, but they ran it like Wednesdays.
I went to that big outdoor one with you that time. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they ran some
Very cool.
really weird days on it as well, but did really well walking around and finding stuff out there. So every time I go out to San Diego, I definitely do hit that flea.
Yeah, we got a guy out there I've been dealing with through eBay. We met years ago, and I think he's in San Fran, but he gets lockers, estates, all like huge quantities of stuff all the time, and he flips me certain things that I deal in that he doesn't. It works out perfectly.
Well, and that kind of ties into the local
3 times a day. That's impressive.
And that ties into our final, our main topic today, the pros and cons of moving outside your comfort zone. So I went to Goodwill right over near your house yesterday.
All right.
And I was just kind of walking around, and they never have good books. And this was, they had a couple of Star Wars books that I picked up that you don't have that I'm going to end up giving over to you at some point. So they had those, but they didn't have anything else book-wise. But they did have a 4-pack of Libby's glasses, Libbeys, which I was doing a little bit of searching on, and apparently that's a good brand of glass.
Are you joking? Those are the ones I'm having those violations with.
Oh, really?
Libby, yeah. The map violations.
Oh.
You said don't contact them back. They're Libby.
Oh, that's funny. I had no idea.
Really funny, yeah.
Well, long story, we'll kind of let everybody in on it. He's getting violations because he's selling new Libby products for less than
suggested
retail. And they're sending him a lot of emails. And I said, ignore them. You're not direct with them.
Yeah, they're saying they're going to close my account. I don't have an account. I've emailed them multiple times. I said, close it. I don't have one to close. Like, this is your first violation. They're threatening first violation, second, third. I'm like, what are you going to do?
Well, if I start getting those emails, then
I bought them secondhand. What do you want from me?
Well, these are 1970s or early 80s glasses, and they had them for $3.99. 4 of them still in package.
Okay.
So I knew those would be okay. So I'm kind of walking around, and all of a sudden I saw the guy bring 4 Corning Visions right up onto the shelf. Mm-hmm. So he literally put them down, and I literally picked them up. And they wanted $3.99 a piece. Well, they go for $35 to $45 a piece on eBay. I could tell by looking at them they were 1980s, so I just grabbed them. I just said this is
Corningware.
Yeah, Corningware, Corelware, something like that, unopened from the 1980s. I know I can pay $3.99 on them or whatever. Whatever. So I just grabbed those quickly and went and got out of there. Mm-hmm. But those aren't the kind of things that I normally deal in. But if I were just going to the thrift store and just buying books, I'd starve. There just aren't books there. Right. So I've kind of opened myself up to new things, and I've gone to the church sale, like I said. Actually just sold, which we'll be showing in a Bolo video at some point. It's a game. You may have had the game before. Have you ever had the game, Is the Pope Catholic?
Don't think I have. I don't know. Maybe.
I was at the church sale, and it was new, but you know how sometimes you get the new games and the shrink wrap's on it, but it's all torn up? Yeah. But you could tell the game's never been out of the shrink wrap. So I listed it as like new and then mentioned that. It was $1. Yeah. $1 for a new sealed game. I just sold it for $30 on eBay. Yeah. Outside of my niche.
Right.
But I'm there at the church sale, and I know that a sealed game from the 1980s or 90s is worth $1. I just absolutely know that it is. You can't go wrong on that.
Right.
But I know you are coming across the other side there with the Nintendo, where you're having the returns and the problems on it as well.
Yeah.
So there definitely are problems listing outside your niche. And one of the problems that I ran into is I can list books and magazines, as I'm sure you can, in your sleep.
Yeah.
In fact, I've seen some of your listings. Some of the people I think were sleeping when they listed them.
Absolutely, for sure.
But I could list them in my sleep because I know, here's this magazine, time. I know to use the drop down for news. I know to use the item specific for time. I know to put weekly in. Boom, 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 boom. I know right where they all are. I can have the magazine listed in no time whatsoever. There was something or other I picked up at the church sale, really cheap. It was unopened. Service for One, which what it was is it was a napkin ring, and another piece. I don't remember what the other piece was. 3 pieces together in there, and it had a price tag in the back originally. They were $14.99, and they had 2 of them. So I bought the 2 of them. I paid 50 cents for the 2 of them.
Yeah.
So I go and I list them on eBay. You know what problem I ran into? Material. I don't know, because it didn't list on the package the material.
Well, you have to wing it, right? I mean, what else can you do?
I put unknown.
Yeah.
But it probably was cotton. But if I dealt in that all the time, I would know exactly what the material was.
Sure.
So you definitely have a learning curve.
Yeah.
And you have to know, like, I'm a lot more willing, and I think you are as well, willing to take chances on magazines.
Oh, sure.
Because they're not really chances.
Right.
And we've talked in videos before that if there's a magazine that you or I haven't seen before,
it's good.
It's probably a better magazine of some kind, because it's not common.
Sure, yeah.
So I will take a chance on that magazine and pay $3 to $5 on that magazine because I've never seen it before.
Or the bonsai. I sold almost all of those.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Some guy bought like 80 in a lot or something. But, I bought them, put 5 or 10 on to see if they would sell. They sold. We put them all on. Within 6 months, I think we're almost out of them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And they don't go for much. Normally on eBay, $5, $6, $7. I was getting 10, 12, 15. I think the guy bought 80 of them at 10 a piece or something.
Oh, wow.
Where are you going? No brainer.
But that's the thing now. If you were at a sale and the guy had $2 each magazines and you had the time to go through it all, you'd be pulling magazines that you'd be taking chances on.
Right.
And you'd be pulling things that you'd say, oh my gosh, he's got the Newsweek magazine with Rockefeller on the cover. I know that's a $150 magazine.
Yeah.
Now I've got an opportunity to take a chance in these other magazines because I know I'm going to get $150 back no matter what.
Right.
If he had glassware out there at $2 a piece,
forget that.
You're not taking any chances. You're not whatsoever.
Nope.
I mean, you might be there and there might be some piece of glassware or some piece of jewelry or some piece of this or that that you know so well that you've heard of that you go, okay, I absolutely know that's good.
Right. Well, the trade cards are a great example. A lady came in with 5 binders and she didn't know where to go with them. And she basically wanted what her mother paid in the 70s for them, $1 or $2 each. It has to be a no-brainer. And great condition, looked like rare ones to me. So, and then she thought I wasn't paying her enough. So I said, try other places. No one else wanted them. I was the only game in town. So, I'm making out.
But the other side of that is if she took that price list away and came in and said, you can pick whatever you want out of here for $5 a piece. You probably wouldn't have bought any. Maybe there was a baseball one or something. There's
better
like that.
ones in each one. You could tell they're oddball, bigger sizes. So say 5 to 10 in each one, I probably would have bought. That's about it.
Right. Because that's outside of your niche. So they have to be, there has to be a reason to buy it.
Sure.
Kind of deal. So I guess what we're saying is, or what I'm saying here is definitely do get into other niches, but be aware. You're probably going to start with the slam dunk stuff or the accidental stuff.
Yeah.
And there's no better way to learn a niche than accidental. How many times have you had somebody throw something in on a deal?
Right.
I don't want this, take it.
Yeah. Well, my employees love it. I get something really crazy and they're like, that'll never sell. And I go, all right, sell it. And it'll sell every time.
I'm learning lots of new things. 1 week, thousands of Royal Rangers patch. I don't even know what a Royal Rangers patch is, so that would be a brand new thing to me. The next was 70s rock band pins, and last weekend, hundreds of NY advertising trade cards. Loving all the different stuff. Yep. That's always a lot of fun, too. And a great thing about it is, we'll take the Rock Band pins, for example.
Yeah.
You go and you list those, and I don't know how many of them you got there, but say you picked up 100 of them, and you list them all individually, or you do your research. Unless it was a picked collection,
Right.
5 of them are good,
Yeah.
and 10 of them are moderately good.
Yeah.
You're going to remember those 5 good ones, and now you have those 5 to start with. When you do go around to a flea market and somebody's not wholesaling them out, but they want $4 a piece,
Yeah.
you can pick the, oh, he's got that Who, and I had that Who before, and I know it's a $40 one, and you grab that Who one, and maybe you say, you want $4 a piece, so you do 3 for 10. Yeah, okay, and then you take a chance on 2 other ones because you're still going to get $40 back out of the one you've had before.
Sure.
And that's just basically the way this whole business goes. Is you just learn and you keep adding stuff on and keep adding stuff on, and the tree keeps growing, and your knowledge keeps growing time after time.
Yeah.
But you also have the problems, like I said, where I didn't know what the material was. I didn't know I had to know what the material was. I mean, I've never listed in that category. It was some weird collectible kitchen category. I've never listed there before. Why would I? It isn't what I deal in.
Yeah.
And that's got to be tough for some of your employees as well.
Oh yeah. I try and give them things that aren't out of their comfort zone either. But Jim has a great question. And
do you stop sourcing when your death pile gets to a certain level?
This is the easiest question I've ever had to answer in my entire life, and everyone knows what I'm going to say. No, never. You keep sourcing till the death pile dies or gets so big. Who cares? Just keep sourcing.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I mean, like I said, I'm going to the sale tomorrow. I don't have any need to. I guess the only concession that I might make to the death pile is
Life magazines.
Yes, I will not be putting them on unless they're given to me. No, but the concession
things
I was going to make would be, it's Sunday, which our flea markets up here are on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Sunday in the middle of June, and it's raining pretty heavily.
Yeah.
I'll sit home because there's only going to be 4 dealers set up, and I'm not going to get any good deals.
Right.
So that would be my only concession. Or, I'm not going to go to a thrift store today. I'm not going to, because my job takes me around places where I might be right near a thrift store or near an estate sale.
Yeah.
And that estate sale doesn't really look good whatsoever, and I've got enough stuff. I'm not going to go 3 blocks out of my way to get to it.
Right.
Of course, if my day job takes me next door to it, I'm still going to walk in no matter how big my death pile is, because you never know what you might get.
Well, we said it's smart sourcing. Like I said, someone calls up with 100 Life magazines or 1,000 Life magazines. I'm probably not buying them unless they're 50 cents. But those binders
for all 1,000.
For all 1,000, yeah, right. But those 2 binders with the 200 autographed baseball cards, I don't need them. But why would I pass on something like that? Because that's going to be good money, high end stuff, right up my alley. So be smart. But yeah, the death pile can keep climbing as long as it's good stuff in that death pile.
I'm going to actually write that down. Smart sourcing. I do like that. We're going to use that at some point when we put out merch. We'll have smart sourcing.
I'm going on to GoDaddy later, smartsourcing.com.
When we sell our merch, we'll have smart sourcing t-shirts.
Exactly.
One other thing, I just took a quick look at my notes. The one problem, though, that you have when you do get outside your niche is that you don't know it. And what that comes down to is,
Stamps.
Well, you know as well as I do that they did a lot of reprints on various sports cards. We've talked about that before. So I don't know sports cards.
Right.
And I'm out and, oh my gosh, that's a Babe Ruth card.
Yeah.
And I go and I list it. And I 100% don't know any better. I've never dealt in sports cards before. I see a Babe Ruth card.
Yeah.
So I go to sell it. Well, it's not real. It's a reprint one.
Remember those T206 I had bought? And thank God I was able to return them and stop payment on a check.
Yep. Yeah. But if you don't know that, and I take that Babe Ruth and I list it, and I, oh my God, this is a $5,000 card. This is great.
Right.
I'm going to list it. What is everybody's going to basically email you, you're scamming. How could you do this?
Absolutely, yeah.
I didn't know any better. I truly didn't know any better, but enough other people do know better that sell that kind of thing.
Sure.
So I might list something or other outside of my niche, not realize that it's a fake or not, one of the keys that you definitely, we've talked about it before, are the old banks.
Yeah.
That aren't really old. They're the new cast iron banks.
Yeah. I always assume they're repops. You got to assume it.
Yep. But I don't know any better. I just get into the trade. I see those. And especially, I go to some flea market out of town that I'm never going to go to again. The guy's never seen me before. Oh, these are old. These are good. These are good. I'll give you a good deal. $20 a piece. These go for $100 each.
Right,
and I buy 4 or 5 of them. I got $100 into them.
Sure.
And, oh my God, I sell these for $100 a piece. And then I send one out. What did you do, you scammer? And they want to send it back. They want to return it and all that kind of thing.
How about the silver? That's a whole nother story for a later date. But
yeah,
lots of fun stories when you're buying outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to is you're buying things that you don't necessarily know about. You have to be a little more careful about stuff as well. And, you know, that is one reason why, and I would suggest to anybody, if you are listing things that are outside your comfort zone, and I do this all the time, and I don't know if you have your employees do this or not, but I put in there, I don't generally deal in this.
Okay, that's smart.
Feel free to ask me any questions because I'm not going to tell you the right thing about it because I don't know what the right thing is.
Right.
And somebody could do a search on my items and say, this guy doesn't deal in marbles. He's never sold a marble before.
Right.
In fact, he looks like he's lost his.
Exactly.
I'm using your line before you do.
So true.
But, you know, so if I mention that and then people will say, what is this? What is this? You know, and then you just ask another question. Well, what is the cat's eye? I don't know what that is. What is this? They'll explain it through to you and then you kind of mention what it is. So that if you are going outside your niche, definitely mention that you don't usually deal in this.
Yeah.
And then people will sit there and have a little more mercy on you because they understand it isn't what you sell. And they can always search on your items to see that it isn't what you sell as well.
Sure.
So definitely.
Sensible's got some advice for you.
Better bring your mucklax to Bachville tomorrow. It's going to be very muddy. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Babe Ruth bar, big deal. Yeah, there you are. Figure we'll get into the, we're about done over here. So hopefully that helps you a little bit over there. Oh, you know what?
No rambling?
No, I'm going to do that after.
All right.
But you know what we never told anybody to do?
Tell 'em.
Hit the like button. There you go. It only took me 1 hour and 6 minutes to do that. Alrighty, so got a rambling story of the week, and this is going to be, well, we're going to be bringing Madison Bachville in, and we're going to be talking about one-legged men because that seems to be a recurring theme on this.
Oh, jeez.
So a couple of years ago, I went to Madison Bachville and was staying at a hotel, and a pickup truck pulls up at the hotel, and gentleman opens the door and says, "Can you help me?" So, okay. He's got one leg. He gets out of the truck. It sounds like a setup to a joke, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
No, he really only had one leg.
I'm waiting for the punchline.
And I don't remember what it was. He needed the keys out of his pocket is what it was. Or something or other like that. It was, so I'm going over there trying to help him. And all of a sudden his pants fell down because he had the belt wasn't tight enough and he only had one leg. He didn't have a hip over there.
Right.
So the pants fell down. So now we're standing in the middle of this parking lot with a one-legged guy with his pants down.
Oh, jeez.
And we're trying to help him out of his pickup truck. And he was getting upset about everything. And I wasn't too happy about everything, too. And that was just really, really embarrassing. And I felt really bad for the guy, too, because he had to be, God, he had to be 75, 80 years old, something or other like that with one leg. But he was still driving the pickup truck. God bless him.
Yeah.
On that over there. So that's the rambling story of the week. And see, you got to meet somebody with one leg so you can do a good story, too.
Yeah. Was it his left or right leg?
It was actually his left leg.
Oh, so it was easier for the pedal then.
Oh, yeah.
He would have been in trouble with these other legs. So.
Or if he owned a standard.
Very true.
Let's take one last run through the feed and then we'll bid everybody adieu.
All right.
Antidote.
Mike?
Outside your niche is great when you find a home run. Yep, that's definitely it. And that's, you know, and that's have enough knowledge to know what the home runs are.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And the best way to do that is pay attention. When you are going around the antique, the antique mall, like I said, pay attention. You see these things priced at $300. Maybe the dealer's there. You can say, hey, I'm not going to buy this off. I don't want to waste your time. But what is this?
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how often they're more than willing to take the time to explain something to you. And, oh, yeah, you see these all the time. They're only worth $25, but this is worth $300 because. Right. And listen very closely to everything he says after the word because. And then when you see him out there, maybe the estate seal dealer doesn't know it. And they're pricing them at $25 each because that's what they think they are. Sure. But you know the because. And you can buy like the experts do. Yeah. So definitely do pay attention. That really will help you out great throughout any endeavor that you probably pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I would say so.
Hey, Neon Lights Movies. Oh, that reminds me. Thank you. Was going to give my father a plug, if you don't mind.
Sure, go right ahead.
If you're in the Cleveland area, go to B&L Comics over on Ridge Road in Parma. They've been in a comic store over there since the early or mid 1980s. Oh, our live studio audience just let us know it's 1984. So do check them out.
Day after Easter.
There you go. Day after Easter, 1984. You have to look at your calendar to see what the Easter was then. All righty, everybody. Thank you very much, and we will see you next week. Hit the like button, and thanks for a good show.
Take care. Bye-bye.